How do you know when you're done having kids? I know people will say if you have to ask, then you aren't done. But I know so many people who have wondered that before. If you're one of them and you've come out on the other side, either having had another or not, have there ever been moments where you wondered if you made the right decision? No, everyone says you'll never regret having another kid and obviously would never regret a child's presence in your life. But were there ever times where you felt like maybe it was too much and you couldn't handle it? Whether it's financially or your relationship or with balancing your career. Irony that I'm talking about this while I'm covering up my under eye bags that I have from being so tired because of my kids right now is not lost on me. If you chose not to have another and you got out of those little kid trenches, have you ever wished that you would have had another and maybe for whatever reason it's too late? For the record, my husband says he's done. He says we have 2 healthy kids. We have one of each, a boy and a girl, and we're older. Let's stop while we're ahead. I think this is so hard when there is a true time limit, even if that's not a concern, because they're younger in terms of childbearing years, that perhaps too much time has passed and they don't want to start over in the baby phase again. Personally, I find the first year after having a baby really, really hard, and pregnancy too. So basically that's like 2 extremely challenging years back to back. And I am currently in the trenches with that with an almost 4-month-old, but having made it to the other side once before with my now 3.5-year-old, I know that for me personally, it does get easier in most ways as they gain some independence, when everyone's sleeping well, and you just get in a better family routine. Not to say I don't live for the baby snuggles and all of those sweet moments, but just the physical, mental, emotional toll that it can take can be a lot for me personally. I always hear people say, what do you want your dining table to look like in 5 years, 15 years, 30 years? And that is both a helpful perspective and a tough one because you have to make it through to those milestones, you know? Some days I am done, like done. Then I remember the saying, don't quit on a hard day. I just don't know if having another, if I would ever feel like, okay, I'm done. I don't long for those newborn snuggles. So many people say, just wait and see. But I turned 38 this summer and it took a loss and some time to conceive to have our daughter. And my personal cutoff for giving birth is 39 years and 364 days old. It's just my personal cutoff. So that's my question to you if you're watching. How do you know? If you weren't necessarily someone who knew exactly how many you wanted and stopped at that number and you felt totally done and just at peace with it, how did you decide? And wherever you landed on that decision, would you do things differently if you could? I guess I'll just have to hope that I'll feel more clarity when I'm a little bit further on the other side of having a little baby at home and getting adjusted, but who knows?